Welcome back to the OPL. We are 1-1 in our OPL Legend match between Avantgarde and the Chiefs. Chiefs took game number 1. Avant hit back hard in game number 2. Want to look forward to game number 3 because the Chiefs, I mean, if you're Radiant Egypt especially, you're looking across the rift from Chenny and Jake and you're not dominating that lane, I feel like that's a little bit of a confidence blow there, Tally.
Yeah, I think they're just underperforming currently.
Well, they also haven't necessarily been put in a matchup to like super perform. Like you had a lane swap last game, but even though it's an Ezreal and a Braum versus like a Nami and Ashe, and a lot of people underestimate Ashe's control over the bot lane just because of how her volley works.
So I want to ask that question then. Is that something that you can look at? Do you just run a kill lane bottom, even though we're saying it's not a bottom-heavy meta? Surely, if you're Radiant and Egypt, you want to be in a position to be able to carry one of these games.
I think the Chiefs they'll still go with the same plan. I don't think like running a kill lane bot lane is worth it all. You really need the utility from your bot lane to be able to strengthen your mid and top.
So do you take the Ashe away then? Like, what is it? Because like, I do agree with you, right? There are certain lanes that you can run utility in, but they're still running Braum Ashe, fantastic lane to be able to kill someone. It's about where your jungle pressure goes. And right now, Spooks, to his credit, sticking top half of the map. You guys have told me repetitively that that is how you win on the current map. But the Chiefs have nearly lost 2 games playing that style. Are you just saying there's business as usual and flip the coin one more time going into this game?
I definitely think that we will see a priority for like an Ashe pick. I actually think that Radier is going to say something, even though I think Ezreal is incredibly strong. But, oh man, I totally spaced my point. Can't think of it anymore. Lost me.
That's all right. Cool. Now I want to go back to the top lane because I think that this is interesting. You're Swiper. You're going up against Paradise. What are you looking to do? Are you just looking to neutralize the young player, or is it now that you like say, all right, cool, big swips, carrying pants on, let's get a favorable matchup, even though Trundle into Echo is pretty good, guys, and see if we can dominate this young player? Can he dominate Paradise?
I definitely think he can dominate him, but as a player, he just needs to neutralize him. He doesn't want to put himself in the situation where he falls behind again.
Fair my point. It was in the draft phase. Swain and Vladimir were never touched. Like we talk about taking really dominating picks and looking at, especially in the top lane, the fact that the Chiefs had those 2 options available to them and didn't touch them at all, I think is a vast oversight.
So is that like, is it the Echo matchup? Do you think Chiefs went
Oh
comfortable
yeah,
running
for
it?
sure. Like why should Paradise get Echo so freely and then you just pick into Trundle like with other stronger options available? Either take the Echo away or contest it. Don't give Paradise like a super big comfort champion that he's been known to steamroll on and then just take like a Trundle.
All right, cool. So before we get into the game, it's 1-1. I don't think anyone would have expected this outcome. Frost, do you believe in Triple and Paradise? Are you going over to the advanced side? Will they take the OPL Legend title?
It's not that I don't believe in Triple and Paradise. Like those guys are really good right now, and I've like Triple is great. Probably it's hard for me to rank him right now, but he's going up. I have more faith in Chiefs draft than I do in Avant's draft. I don't think that they will make the same mistake again.
And Tally, what are your thoughts? Do you think that the Chiefs are going to hold the title till you get a crack at them in week 6, or do you think that maybe Legacy get a shot a little bit earlier next week when you take on Avant?
I'm just going to make it a little bit exciting, and I'm going to go full faith in
Avant?
Cheese. Yeah.
Avantgarde?
Yes. Triple cheese all the way.
All right, cool. So Triple Cheese going to be able to win this game. You've heard it here first. Tally calling it. Frost, of course, always with the safe bets. However, guys, we are ready to get onto Summoner's Rift for one last time. So here is Atlas and Russell to take us there.
The real question is it actually a safe bet? Is betting on the Chiefs now a safe bet? I don't know.
Yeah.
They look completely out of control.
I mean, historically,
Game
absolutely, it's a safe
Well,
bet.
yes.
But AV, and based off
Tonight,
this
though.
series alone, absolutely, yeah. I think you could look for, let's say, the dark horse of Vanguard. Definitely no slouches at an individual level. Triple Cheese has stepped up and gone off in this series so far. And honestly, making his mark as a premier mid laner in the OPL.
Most certainly is. Sort of just soloing in Nexus at the end of the last game. Really making good decisions around the map as well, as Kindred is going to be banned. AV finally switching things up completely as they head towards the blue side.
Yeah, and Frostgren mentioned it on the desk. I feel like the oversight of the Chiefs draft has come back to bite them. Perhaps they just don't play Vladimir. I mean, they used to, but it's been a while. Vladimir's different.
There was a hover from Swiffer, but you're exactly right.
The hover has always been there, though, since the start of the last split. Because Nunu Vladimir was the meme that they forged for themselves.
Very good point. Azir, though, once again, going to be banned away. I have a feeling Fiora may hit the list as well.
I think Echo should.
Oh, yeah.
Echo's this middle point between a tank and a damage dealer that I don't think they should allow to actually have there. Fiora's more of a risk that I know Swiper's played against and plays.
Oh, Victor is going to be the option. Now, AV, we'll see what they decide to get off the board. Something like a Bard has been there throughout this series.
With a Kindred ban, Nidalee might have to be a response as well. We always see that from each respective opposite side. Sometimes the AV side would ban both, but they do like that Bard.
Yeah, that's a very good point. So Bard is going to go. We'll see whether the Chiefs do decide to get rid of the Nidalee, make sure that they open up the A tier of junglers, I guess, after the Kindred and the Nid have left. Swiper though, what do the Chiefs ban last?
That's the tough question. We know that the Chiefs can play Swain. I don't know if AV can. I don't think they've looked towards that as their ban choice.
Okay, Lucian is going to be the one. So, Fiora finally is left available. Nidalee is, of course, up.
Yeah, and they still get rid of Chenny's best champion. We've always questioned his champion pool. Probably just default to Ashe again based off the last couple of games, but Sivir was also banned in game number 2. Not going to be a factor.
Well,
So moving
Echo,
to this.
yeah, going to be locked in here for Paradise. Definitely prioritizing something that he is very comfortable on.
Yeah, and it's schooled Swiper.
Damn right it did.
Paradise picking up that Echo is a scary prospect for the Chiefs to uphold. We'll have to see how they react to it, how they pick the rest of their draft.
Swiper currently is hovering some things. What do you see as being... Are there any must picks
Well, I
right
should
now?
just go Nidalee, firstly, because Kindred's already taken off the board.
I think something like a Nidalee Swain or something like that.
They could definitely do Swain. There's always a reason to go Swain. Still think Vladimir over Swain, but hey,
Yeah,
they definitely should still probably just go Nidalee Swain. Ezreal also, they could go Nidalee Ezreal. Sivir's going to be available, however, so it's not the biggest of preferences.
As is Ashe, and Jenny Boy looked very comfortable on the Ashe. 2 seconds to go. Ezreal is going to be locked in here as Spooks is going to take away the Rek'Sai. Hiding their solo lanes. Don't want to give that information away just yet.
One of the cool things, though, about that Rek'Sai being locked in is that they can play a carry top lane if Swiper wanted to do that.
Yeah.
Now that Spooks is on a tanky jungle choice, not that Kindred or Nidalee. It doesn't reveal your hand in the way of what you're going to pick. You're still going to have the red side counter pick option for one of your solo lanes. But it does kind of push you in that direction.
I like this out of Joey. His Elise has always been very, very strong. Hovering at it for a moment. Of course, Nidalee is another one of his key picks.
Wouldn't mind the Gragas as well. Works well with what AV were putting together.
But that's going to be the lock-in, so lots of pick available here for AV. With just these 2 picks alone, they just managed to pick up.
They've secured themselves their engage tool, their follow-up to that engage. And most of their team fighting. Triple to round it out with whatever he picks, whether it's another Twisted Fate option or goes towards something else control magey. Lissandra still stands out as a possibility.
Yeah.
See where he looks.
But otherwise, Vladimir. A support option as well, something like the Karma, something like the Soraka that we have seen. Poppy's going to be locked in. And Zyra.
Okay. I don't know about the Zyra this early. I mean, they actually probably could have last picked it. But they want Swiffer to have that real counter option. The Poppy as well. Knowingly into the Echo. Seems to be a comfort thing for Swiper, I suppose. I question whether or not he should have been the Maokai, however.
Yeah,
Even
that is.
Nautilus.
Unless they're throwing like the sick curveball
No, they're not.
where they want Zyra mid lane and Poppy
Absolutely
support. No?
No, you're the only Zyra mid player.
Hey,
I know.
hey. She still doesn't.
No, I mean, they're making the assumption that they're going to pick like Braum or a tank in the bottom lane on the side of AV.
Yeah.
Instead of picking the Zyra into it, they've blind picked it with that assumption there. And that faith may not be rewarded.
Oh, it is definitely throwing a curveball. We saw Pac-Man actually try his hand at the Poppy unsuccessfully. As there it is. So Twisted Fate once again going to be picked up now on the blue side for triple. See what Swiffer decides to take into it, or what is actually going to happen here.
Now Swiffer, knowing that it's a Twisted Fate, having that counter option, does have tools available to him to not necessarily counteract it, but he should pick probably a teleport, preferenced mid laner. It's usually the best way to combat the split push. It diffuses any early advantages that they get. That, or you just pick something that's straight team fights and do what the Chiefs tried to do last game, but not with a 7k deficit and 2 Mountain Drakes on the enemy team and kill the Twisted Fate.
Well, speaking of killing the Twisted Fate, LeBlanc should be able to do that, and that is going to be Swiffer's lock-in there for the mid lane, but definitely changing things up. Chiefs, I mean, we heard their draft complimented on the desk, and we'll see how this is going to go, what the Poppy is designed to do. Because AV, they have a clear-cut pick comp. Like, it is going to do that job, and it's going to do it well.
Yeah, they've got a reasonably safe 3-man roster. They've got the side lane focus as well with the Echo that put in overtime against Swiper last game. On a Trundle, they've got Triple who can do all of the above. He can pick, he can poke, he can split push. Well-rounded champion Twisted Fate should work in Triple's hands. Whereas the Chiefs, they do have a sizable amount of damage. And they have Engage. It's lacking, but they have it.
Yep.
The follow-up to that Engage, though, let me tell you, if they ever actually knock somebody up or stun them into a wall, that person is probably dead.
It's a very good point, and sort of no Lambs from Spite to worry about as well. I mean, all of this damage is going to stick, apart from the fact that Nami can heal them up a little bit, but it's not quite as oppressive as that of a Soraka.
Yeah.
So, you know, things on the board that aren't, you know, weren't as available prior. But ladies and gentlemen, hop on Twitter. Do you think that AV are going to be our new OPL legends? Use that hashtag AV win. Or if you think that the Chiefs are going to be able to clinch this one out and hold on to the belt, use the hashtag CHF win. And of course, include hashtag IMOPL. Just let us know anything, because this has been a ridiculous night, especially in this last series. Really impressive play out of AV to keep themselves in it after what was a marathon game number 1 that the Chiefs were able to take over. But man, I don't know what to expect in this game. All I know is that AV look like they have a plan. And last time we saw that, it was dangerous times for the Chiefs.
It definitely was.
Now
A little bit confused with Chenny, sorry. I was about to say something. I was like, did you forget to buy items? I couldn't tell you. We're looking at masteries.
Yeah, no, he's just going to have a quick wander out of this base. Just wanted to scout the fountain for a moment. As you can see, there's a very sneaky fish lady
The funny
into
thing
the enemy jungle.
about this Zyra invade as well is you just put plants down everywhere.
Yeah.
And so if it's unfortunate you're trying to like bush camp, a random plant pops up. It's like, what up? Zyra's here. It kind of ruins that party.
You just sort of leave a trail everywhere. As once again, there's going to be lane swap vision coming in. Lots of wards do go down, and we'll see whether the Chiefs are looking for the lane swap or whether they're looking for the standard lanes.
Minions have spawned.
Yep. Kind of just that guessing game because they're sitting in the middle lane. Both teams are, in fact. It looks like AV want the lane swap again, though, because Paradise is already holding hands with Shelby. They've committed to starting at least this aspect of it off. The guessing game continues, though. Okay, AV see it. AV no, they want bottom.
Yeah, so now their turn to walk over the ward. As the pings are going to go down, spotting out exactly where Spooks is starting off in the jungle. Now Swiffer and Triple are going to be relatively isolated. Distortion goes in. Swiffer says, haha. First blood gained in the mid lane.
And missed the minion. But
yeah, problematic.
we are going to see how the Chiefs then react to this.
Legion at level 1. A whole lot of damage. Is Jake actually going to get an ebb and flow on top of Swiffer? Lots of damage, already down to half health, as he has to eat through some of his potions.
Yeah, that's actually a sizable chunk. Oh, he was close.
Man, oh yeah, super close.
Paradise actually locked that one down, so at least AV get it. The top laner of AV getting it, though, means a lot less money in Shelby's pocket. No experience gained by the Elise from it either, as per the changes to jungle experience gained in patch 6.9.
Yeah. Boy, just continuing to last hit these creeps towards the bottom side of the map, now heading towards that turret as the backs are going to come in from the Chiefs. So they just want to shove it in, deny some creeps, and then get down to some standard lanes.
Yeah. You can tell that's what they wanted too. You don't pick Zyra and then commit to a lane swap. AV seemingly aware of this fact. They are going to look for the standard lanes. Of course, you'll actually have a bit of a push first from Triple. Paradise, rather.
Yeah. And actually, no. Yeah, AV. Head towards the top side of the map.
Straight up avoiding it. And let the game of pull and push commence.
Yeah. We'll see who comes out on top. Of course, AV played it out quite nicely last time around. Is Swiffer. He's going to land in here as there's the chain. Connects.
Nice chains.
Yeah, really nice. Thread in the needle.
Mechanically impressive from the Chiefs, but just a little bit of pressure on the triple. As you can see, the movement from Spooks was going from strong to strong side of the map. As the Chiefs bottom lane recalled, he had to switch so that he was safe in his movements. Speaking of, he's probably going to go from bottom to top again.
Yep.
Quite shortly.
One more time. 8 CS apiece for our top laners. As it's the boots picker. On the other side, it is, of course, refillable potion as well as that Dark Seal done for Paradise. As he's able to pick up a little bit more farm here underneath this turret.
It's like hide and seek. It's great.
Catch me if you can. Oh, once again.
Oh, no,
Backing away.
Absolutely, and that's what they want to do. The recall timing from the Chiefs was horrible. You got a mana crystal on Ezreal. He wants a tier. He's going to have actual tiers because he only has a mana. Oh, you know what? There's cheesing. Nope, they're not cheesing anymore.
Well, standard lanes is going to be gained, but a little bit lucky there for the Chiefs.
He happened to hit the Q on the bush.
Yeah. Well, there's the grasping roots. Ejim has been exhausted though as Chelby's trying to find his way in. Very squishy is the Zyra as the Q goes down. Not going to find it, but there's the first blood with Chenny Boy picking that one up. Radiant taking so much damage. Spooks is making his way in as well. Swiper has to flash. It's a big one as he's taking so much damage from Paradise. Timewinder almost finishes him off there as well. Teleport and flash down for the Echo.
And a big first blood secured by AV. Remember, this is that title match. There's a bit of extra match payment on the line for these teams. Very important that they kick it off on the right foot, and the pressure would absolutely be there.
This is Chenny Boy picking up the first blood as well. This is a player that hasn't been carrying for this team in the last 2 games. More facilitating on this Ashe now with a whole lot more tools.
Yeah, well, look, realistically, it's not the optimal outcome. But the fact that they get the first blood is still quite handy. And yeah, Chenny's going to have to do a bit of work. He's a Vayne player. He knows what carrying means. And he's well and truly capable of it. See if he can put 2 and 2 together.
Well, right now, Swiper finally finds himself a minion wave. Paradise is going to find him. He's going to just leave the lane. Understands that he can't really dive the level 3 Poppy right now. Despite the fact that he is ahead by just a little bit.
It's always tough last hitting under this turret.
Yeah.
Still so well. Oh, he was.
Yeah. Spoke too soon. But he's going to claw himself back within only a couple of CS.
He's actually afraid of being dove. They have no knowledge. And look at the way Paradise plays that lane as well. Acting like he has a jungler there when he doesn't.
Yeah, triple as well was out of position.
The second they leave lane, whether they're doing something or not, you can pretend they are and still scare him away. Swiper gets zoned from an entire minion wave, basically, with a cannon in it. Because spooky, scary, triple skeletons.
Super. Lands the chain after the sigil there as Triple throws down a gold card, answers it quite nicely.
Actually out-traded.
Shelby as well, he's waiting. Waiting for a distortion.
The thing is, Swiffer hasn't recalled, so the strength that Triple has is actually noteworthy at the moment. This could be...
Switch is going to tunnel himself away, but position has been known. 800 gold the lead at the moment for AV. There's the Chiefs, they're interesting team comp. Not quite able to get too much done right now as a decent Q comes through from Ejim. Helps take down this Rift Skull. He's going to head back to base now. See what he decides to pick up with it. Tier is now completed for Radiant. Has himself another little Sapphire Crystal building towards what looks like a Sheen. Now head back towards the top side of the map. But Paradise, once again, just feeling so good in this lane.
Yeah, he's actually very happy in this lane. And whilst Radiant's getting items, the Tier and the Mana Crystal amount to no physical or damage dealing stats. On the side of AV, however, we have Chenny Boy with a BF sword. So realistically, they're a stronger bottom lane.
Feeling pretty damn good, yeah.
Compromise we have to bring with that, however, is that Zyra exists. And usually makes any kind of unfavorable matchup for the Ezreal. Potentially even with damage output.
I think it has a lot to do with this Enchanted Crystal Arrow. If it lands on Ejim once level 6 is gained, which it is now.
Yeah, level-wise, they're at a big advantage. And that's why Chelby's posturing up here. I don't think the dive is any kind of solution given the wards, though.
Yep. The red back just going to take down the pink ward. That's a big deal. Gives AV A lot more ability to be aggressive. Swiffer lands another chain onto triple.
Mechanically quite good once again, but having a Negatron cloak negates. I didn't have a better word.
Yeah.
I really didn't want to use it.
I know,
Yeah.
I know. I could feel it. Hated yourself a little bit in that moment, I think. However, I loved it. Thought it was fantastic. Radiant continuing to farm quite nicely here. 5 CS is going to be the lead, but doesn't have first blood. Chenny Boy is very happy with how things are going for him. Level 6, of course, has been gained for the Ezreal.
Tell you what, though. Paradise. You mentioned the Echo, so it probably should have been banned, honestly.
Yeah.
He's still putting in work on the Swiper.
Yeah, 53 to 37. Spectre's Cowl is now done for Swiper. So now that he can go a tanky build, he's feeling a little bit better as there's the mimicked distortion, but Swiffer...
AP Echo.
Well, I mean, Sheen and Balmy Cinder.
Yeah, is it Rod of Ages, though?
Oh, I really hope so. That would be so dang cool.
Part of me wants it.
Yeah.
And there's trading into a Poppy as well. The more you hit people and expend mana with a Catalyst, helps you actually come back. That'd be pretty nifty.
Bubble, not going to find E-Gym. It's a big deal as Grasping Roots comes down. Jake taking a lot of damage. Ignites there, actually. As Chenny holds on to the arrow. Of course, didn't actually have it available.
Yeah.
Had already used it. Chiefs do manage to survive the trade.
LeBlanc posturing topside as well. Twisted Fate's going to have the ult to match it.
Oh, Shelby. Swiffer not going to find it as there's the knock-up onto the Spider Lady, but they don't want it. True Shot Barrage going to slide on under Shelby. Twisted Fate is at the right position. So far you can see teleports from the bottom lanes, but I have a feeling I know which one I'd want to be turning up. That is most certainly the Echo with a 31 CS lead.
Lots of zoning on the big swips. Definitely little swips at the moment. Or is it little swippers? That's what you call him if he's... not big swips.
It's just nighttime footwear. Like it a lot.
That was a quote from the coach of the Chiefs.
Little swippers.
Wearing flippers.
Oh, God.
Oh, he's going to hate me now.
Well, Swiffer's going to grab himself a blue buff, so he's going to be pretty happy. Spook's taking that one up for him. He's farming very well, is the Rek'Sai. May need to go back, grab himself Farmy Cinder, or potentially the Cinder Hulk if he can afford it.
Still a very slow start to this game once again, and mostly on the back of Paradise doing well should AV be able to look towards neutral objectives.
Yeah.
Drake been standing since the minute he came to the Rift. No one actually looked at it, whereas our last two games saw some early ones taken. Last one in particular from AV was rapid acceleration of Drake's.
There's another Grasping Roots as Radiant throws down a Q at the minion wave, unfortunately. Not going to get the extra damage onto the Nami.
Ejim only level 5 to be pain. He's at 6 pretty quick.
Yeah, Stranglehold is important for the Zyra. Lots of added burst.
Surprisingly large kill threat out of these two. Think of the Tidal Wave as well as the Ash Arrow, and then Elise, who's actually hovering around the back end here.
Most certainly. Trying to clear out vision. Shelby, I believe, was seen.
Yeah, there was a ward he cleared. But Spooks is actually stalking them. So they kind of want AV to do something. Not that Spooks wanted the Rift Herald to hit him.
Joe going on a merry walkabout right now. Decides not to turn on to Shelby. Vision is down as Spooks is just looking to see where everyone's going. Swiffer hanging around as well. We'll see whether they can actually get anything done onto Shelby as the volatile Spiderling is going to find the Rek'Sai. Calls over the top. The blue buff is going to come in.
There's a lot of time being expended here. As TF's not even looking at them.
Yeah, no, he's going for Swiper. The ultimate comes down, but triple stays. He doesn't have a lot of mana.
No mana.
And can't find the kill. So first Destiny not going to be successful here, and it is going to net Swiffer a blue buff. That is a big deal for the Chiefs.
I mean, in terms of target selection as well from that Poppy ult, Swiper did the right thing. He may not have known the mana pool, to be fair, of triple, but it worked out the best.
Damn right.
As the Chiefs aren't going to get anything in this top lane. They're actually just wasting a lot of time themselves after the blue buff. and reset back to square one. They should be looking at the Drake, to be fair, but they really want that bottom lane to win. And this is the opposite of what even the analyst desk said they should do. I agree with the desk. They've got a facilitating lane here in an Ashe and an Army. If AV don't die, AV are effectively winning that, even if they're behind by a little bit.
Yeah, they're more than happy as Swiffer. He's going to make his way in. See whether they can actually get any pressure on this outer turret. Rooftop Barrage going to fly through. There's some damage here to Chenny Boy and Jake. Shelby here to help out. And Spooks is going to make his way over the top. So, nothing gained once again.
Yeah, still time wasted for nothing doing. The Chiefs definitely feeling a little bit out of sorts with their strategy. In this particular meta, defaulting to a keep the Raider alive and let him carry type of strategy, usually not as successful. It feels like that's the direction they're going. Swiffer's definitely still going to be a big carry threat. Not the little blocks behind by any means.
Head in the farm for now. Swiffer is going to distort his way over. Shelby in trouble. Has to use the repel, but has nowhere to go. Spooks wants to get the knock up. The chains don't land. A Swiffer takes a lot of damage. Spooks grabs Shelby. And there's more action towards the top side. Radiant looking for Chenny Boy. Gets it. Can he get the double as Jake underneath the turret? Mystic Shot's going to miss. And Essence Flux is going to land, but 80 carry for support. I'll take it if I'm the Chiefs.
Yeah, positive trade here from the Chiefs in two different places. Of course, the Rek'Sai gets out. The LeBlanc's fine. That's very strong stuff here from the side of the Chiefs roster. The pressure that Azira has, you'll see, just pops the ultimate. Gives Raider all the time in the world, simply because, like, even though he's destined to die, Azira, you do damage, you've done your job.
Damn right. Missing the ultimate, unfortunately. I mean, sorry, the passive that you used to have where you could kill people once you were dead. But Chiefs, they have evened up the gold entirely at this stage. Spooks as well has his Balmy Cinder, now going to build towards the Cinder Hulk, as well as having that Sight Stone. He's very happy right now. And actually has a decent CS advantage as far as in that jungle is concerned. Both of our mid laners with their Abyssal Scepters done, but Swiffer, a bit of extra farm. The extra assist has enough for the Sorcerer's Shoes. However, Triple just went back, grabbed himself a book, as well as the cane and his boots. So he's more than happy.
Definitely
Stack
happy.
deck, man. Or the other one. Stack deck's the one that does damage. That's the one that gives him the money.
Oh,
Something to do with loaded dice. That's the one.
yeah, that's it. Nice, something to do with that exact name. I believe is what it's called.
Yeah.
We still have to touch on the fact that our challengers right now, Avant, are still putting in work.
Oh, Chenny and Jakey. Bit of trouble here. The bubble does land though. Spooks takes an arrow to the face as well as Paradise is making his way in. And Triple's already up here. That's 4 members of AV. It's like they were waiting for that gank.
He went through wards.
Yeah.
Spooks definitely went through wards. They were very much ready to respond. AV now in a point of power with Triple here. They can threaten the dive onto the Chiefs, and most importantly, they can get the turret with it.
Here's Paradise. Raider has his Iceborne gone. Sorry, no, he doesn't. That's Paradise that has his. Teleport's going to come in. Swiper's actually looking for a kill. Wants to find Chenny Boy, but not going to be able to. It's a fantastic bubble. Oh my god, Chenny just gets obliterated by Swiffer. The ultimate onto Paradise, who has to flash. Swiper out of mana completely as Paradise is running very quickly. But yeah, rock in a hard place is an understatement for this particular situation as the stun comes in onto Swiper. But Swiffer is going to be able to finish off the kill, and the Chiefs take the kill lead, but not the gold lead.
Yeah, and this once again comes back to Chelby's tendencies to be on the wrong side of the map at the wrong time.
Hey man, he got a turret.
Yeah, he did. And he's just chilling in that bottom lane. It works out, absolutely. But that's simply because Paradise and Triple can teleport in and help. If Shelby was there, things could have been different, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, possibly even better.
Getting the turret's nice, but your team dying for it often isn't. The Chiefs, fortunately for AV, were not able to respond in kind.
Oh man, Swiffer hunting for spiders right now. Actually, he wants it. Who could blame him either? So take that one up, pick that one up for himself. Chenny Boy is now relocated to the mid lane, just clearing out things. As the Chiefs, lots of deep aggressive vision towards that top side that is answered by AV. The vision game, like, in this whole series, has been very strong from either side.
Well, they both just have stupid amounts of vision right now, in a good way, naturally. Yeah. Now control on the top where they were fighting, and his Rift Herald vision, though, and still we have not seen a Drake taken. AV should honestly just do it right now. Red have been sitting on that top side of the map farming.
Paradise actually going to start this one up. You got Chenny Boy heading down here as well. No pings available here from the Chiefs, and there's so much vision for AV. This Dragon is well and truly AV's.
Yep, easy lockdown.
That's an Ocean Drake. Helps them out for exactly what they want to do. Sit in brushes, try and get picks, things like that. Will always have full health and mana. Feeling very good about it as the Nami now being hunted.
Yeah,
By
LeBlanc's
the
there.
Rek'Sai. Yeah, Swiffer lands the chains. It's a really nice use of the wave, but my god, Swiffer does some damages.
Yeah, Swiffer is a monster right now. 3-0-1 on that LeBlanc. No comparison on the rest of the map. The side of AV. Chenny probably the only person who's got enough farm, but they want to dive this.
There it is. The flash, the triple knock-up's going to come in, and Chenny Boy is going to get destroyed. It is a really nice ultimate out of the Zyra, and the knockback comes in, so Twisted Fate out of the fight. Shelby tries to get out of there, but Swiffer just does so much damage, and this is what we expect from this team. Coordinated destruction of their opponents.
Swiffer is huge right now. Spooks with that flash as well to kick it all off. Working it really well as Paradise has made his way in.
Yeah, Gold Card comes in, Swiffer in trouble, flashes out of the way, uses the distortion, and is going to be safe for now. Radiant able to get some damage done to this turret, but Mystic Shot doesn't hurt it. Paradise still hunting. Arcane Shift comes in. Yeah, the flash actually comes down. Of course, the Destiny was there, and Triple was able to pick that one up with some wild cards. Swiffer is just backing that one on top of him. Rift Herald suicides.
Yeah, they're going to cancel that recall from Swiffer, which means they might have time to push this middle lane turret and see how Paradise plays it. He's probably dead.
Yeah, he's in a whole host of trouble anyways. Paradise does pick up the kill. Swiper looking for more. As this outer turret in trouble as well. And what went from a fantastic play out of the Chiefs, they didn't get the turret. And AV are able to answer, and they get right back in touching distance with that gold.
Yeah, still showing they can keep up with the best here, Avant. Definitely putting in work in game number 3 as a collective unit and team, which is, once again, something that the Chiefs have gotten better at doing in this third game. It's still Swiffer and friends. Absolutely still Swiffer and friends.
Yeah, and if we have a look back in time at Swiffer's LeBlanc stats, game number 1 went 9-0-3. Game number 2 went 11-1-3. I mean, he's no stranger to hard carrying on this champion. This is the one that he goes to when he wants to just kill a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
Let's see whether he can do it again this game. 1 CS ahead. Oh, actually, a whole bunch more now that he's distorted the minion wave. The Triple, he's got a different game plan. He doesn't really care about where the LeBlanc is. If he can avoid her, that's the big deal.
It's the same thing as the last game. Triple wants to impact the map. LeBlanc's not going to be able to split push very well unless Swiffer is killing the target, but because he's 5-0-1, ideally he's just not split pushing. They have Ezreal currently sitting in these side lanes. Last time we saw that, Ezreal died.
Yeah.
Spooks had to readjust his strategy to compensate.
Turrets
Look
are
what's
gonna be
happening up
traded.
here as well. This hasn't changed.
No.
Paradise
Still a
is
bad
amazing.
news story for the Chiefs on the top side of the map. 118 CS here for Swiper. After, of course, a weird laning situation. Not necessarily a lane swap, but a strange lane. But 154 to 123, that is a big deal. Paradise, so strong. Time winds his way in, picks up a whole bunch of creeps.
He's super strong at the moment, and that's one of the bigger concerns that you've got if you're a Chiefs fan. As a Paradise could very much come in and rain on your parade. He's got plenty of vision and control. The Chiefs, though, they've got Shelby.
Yeah, he's going to get knocked up. Swiffer's going to pick up another one, dominating now on the Rift with 6 kills as Ejim going to avoid the bubble. Spook's not so lucky, though, as he gets his tunnel out of there. Chiefs grab a pick, and they are going to survive. Inner turret now, potentially under fire. Chenny Boy in trouble, just gets exploded.
Oh, no,
the Ignite! Not going to be a no. Is it? Yes, it is the last tick. And the heals were just not enough. My god, he does so much damage, and that's the level advantage. 3 levels ahead. Paradise has to get himself out of there as Swiffer still
actually in
able to
trouble.
deal with this guy as he distorts forward. Nice phase dive, going to get him out.
The Stalk cooldown is pretty low. Swiffer's in with the chance here. Paradise is going to have to work his magic, but meanwhile, on the bottom side of the map,
Swiffer is so angry at Avant right now. Can you feel it?
I can see it.
Oh god, the distortion. He has to avoid it if he doesn't want to die. Swiffer,
Cooldown.
gonna do it. There it is. Legendary Swiffer, 8-0-1. Holding his team together right now is this LeBlanc. Doing so in a way that facilitates them. They can now go around the map, pick up these turrets. You can see the outers are all gone. Inner turret now on the bottom side of the map also taken away.
holding them together, putting them on his back, honestly, whichever way you look at it. Swiffer is doing work. The rest of his team are kind of just going through the motions of a team-based game. Naturally, the Chiefs do still excel in team play, and it's something that is backfiring for AV. Worked in game 2, meeting them at their own game. Not to be seen just yet this time around. Triple. He hasn't really arrived in game number 3. He's done his part. But that's what Swiffer did in number 2, his part. Yeah. And they lost for that.
Has to be coordination with these very strong members. Right now, I believe Swiffer looking for what could be a Void Staff, but also could be a Rabbiden's Death Cap if he really feels spicy. Spooks. Still just a splooches detector at the moment. Wandering around trying to get himself into a position to set Swiffer up for a kill. Void Staff now done. That's a 3-item LeBlanc.
Indeed.
Very, very scary.
One of the stronger utilities of a Rek'Sai as well, Spooks. Being able to see people without having vision there. Aids towards them catching out of position many times that Elise this game.
Yeah.
And set them up very nicely.
Well, so Ocean Drake going to be going down very, very quickly. Chiefs grab their own. Going to be picked up. Next one going to be the Infernal Drake. So big deal for the Chiefs. Love that one.
They denied the double Ocean also from AV, which could have sucked, honestly. They got it. Very hard to push them out unless you straight kill them. Thankfully, Swiffer would have been capable of doing exactly that with his monstrous LeBlanc, to say the least.
Also, again, kudos to Avant having their vision where they need it. 25 minutes here into this game could be an opportunity for the Chiefs to try and sneak something like a Baron as Triple has the gold card locked, but doesn't actually go full committal onto Spooks.
Cancelled the animation there. Doesn't get it naturally, but shows that they want to get something done. And yeah, you're right. The vision's always been a redeeming feature of both of these teams. But Series Chenny's actually just goodbye.
Spooks is going to be able to pick that one up. Ejim secures it with some extra slow from the plants. And that is going to be more. Chelby also in trouble as Swiffer flashes forward, lands the chain somehow. Swiffer is going to distort his way out of there as Triple dashes forward, picks up the kill, gets the shutdown. That could actually be big news here, but the Chiefs may have caught this Twisted Fate out of position, just Destiny's his way to safety.
And meanwhile, in the top lane, the Chiefs are still going to be hard pushing. So yes, they've actually worked out that proactive movement. A big pick onto the Ashe, something that definitely should not have happened. Has an AV is stuck responding to it, but not actually getting anything for it. The 1 kill onto Swiffer, it's a nice to have, but they're losing their structures slowly. Radar is definitely still the important damage dealer to these structures. Something that he's shown a liking towards.
Currently 2,000 gold in this one. Grasping Roots finds Jake. Lots of damage coming out of these plants. As the bubble goes to Jake, what a god! Sorry, the blue buff with a bubble goes to Jake.
Triple opting towards a ward over even attempting that blue buff.
Oh, that's because he knew that the Nami had it.
Oh yeah.
Got to get that CDR, man.
And make sure the Nami is the recipient naturally, but
legit.
Jakey does well to secure it for what it's worth.
Yeah. I was, of course, being facetious, ladies and gentlemen at home. That should never happen. However, it did. It just shows how this game is. Swiffer, 9-1-1. Rest of his team calling that number. They were an American.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, it sort of had to happen, didn't it?
It didn't.
But now just going to be clearing out this mid lane. Trying to keep it shoved, keeping eyes on Triple. Of course, the more shoved your waves are, the more vision you have. So you to be streaming up.
Getting ballsy.
Yeah, well, Spooks is here, gets the knock-up. Parallel Convergence is down, will help for the disengage, but Radier does get the Bilgewater Cutlass down. However, Paradise doesn't care. He's got slow resistance with his Swifties.
Yep, can't catch an Echo when he has 3 stacks on his passive, and it super speeds him, essentially.
Yeah.
Chiefs are still working around superior vision control now, though, on the Baron area. The pit itself is definitely still got it. It has a single ward inside it. So things will be okay for AV. They don't need to face check, but the Chiefs also aren't aware of that fact and trying to bait them towards it. A little bit needless, honestly, from the Chiefs roster. Cute.
Top lane teleport advantage is there for Swiper, but of course Triple, he took teleport, Swiffer didn't. He's going to be feeling a bunch better.
This is still what AV can do, though. Chenny sitting in that side lane was ultimately not necessary simply because the Twisted Fate could be doing it. Yes, the Twisted Fate could have probably died in that situation, but he's the one with the teleports. Even looking at lane assignments, you still don't want Chenny in a side lane. But you can't really put him against the LeBlanc anyway. There's no winning situation when you're against a 9-1
Yeah.
Swiffer.
He sort of doesn't want to, be under a turret. He
I don't
sort of
think he
wants to be in
on the
his
map.
fountain. Yeah.
You remember the dragon that flies off at the start, like in the top,
Yeah.
near the scenery area, you know?
Yeah.
That's exactly where Chenny would want to be.
Understandably, too.
I'd ride a dragon, I guess. I shouldn't say that. I want that.
Love those books. As you can see, now converging on this inner turret in the mid lane. Paradise already has his GA completed. A very big echo, parallel convergence coming down. Be able to find any stuns. Zoning nicely. Radier dodges it. And utilizes the arcane shift in order to do so. No flash is necessary.
That was just generally poorly timed, I'm not going to lie. All of the spells, the parallel convergence was already used by Paradise. The follow-up wasn't going to be there even if that hit. And here we are.
Yeah. Jake. Oh my god, almost just flat out dead. True shot barrage! Oh, flashed out of the way of. I have a feeling he would have been safe, but never safe than sorry. As there's the wave. The ultimate came down as well as the Chiefs. Continuing to set up here. Paradise right in amongst it. Spook's going quite low right now as the ult did come through from Swiper. Paradise now uses his ultimate.
Good
does still have
stun.
his GA. As in goes Swiffer. Wildcards are there as Egypt
got
with
him.
a really nice snare. And Triple is going to fall down. Still low health bars on the Chiefs. And AV have a turret, but Swiper possibly still positioning for a dive.
Definitely were looking towards it. They shouldn't dive this time around, however. Not enough health bars to be spoken of from most of the Chiefs members. Swiper comes up huge in that fight, though. Actually stuns the Echo and forces a flash with the first potential dive. Swiffer.
An arrow distorted out of the way of.
Even, again, that arrow, ultimately not necessary. And they would have actually caught him. This is what happens. Chenny hasn't had the best set. Chenny's a good AD carry, but he has not had the best set right now. And what they are doing is currently putting all of their money towards him. All of their emphasis and movement on the map was still towards him. It wasn't even to put Radair behind, it was to get Chenny ahead, essentially. Started it off 1-0. You put eggs in the Paradise basket, really? He's the star player on this team besides Triple.
Damn right he is.
Get him to win that side lane. Didn't actually control that side lane. And beat Swiper out. 30 to 40 CS is nice. Like, it's a good lead, but it starts to peter off.
Well, especially when, Swiper is playing a Poppy who, if he lands a really good ult in a team fight, it doesn't matter how far behind he is. He still would have landed that ult. And this is an Infernal Drake going to the Chiefs. They got water and fire. They're basically Pokemon Ruby and Pokemon Sapphire at the moment.
What?
That was a bit of a convoluted one. Team Magma, Team Magma.
I know. Yeah. Even on a surface level, it's like they're both gems.
Yeah, it's just bad. True Shot Barrage tries to clear out the wave towards the bottom side of the map. As Radier just trying to get a shove happening there, weakening those minions.
Does have said blue and red.
Yeah, no, I could have said a whole lot of things. Sort of the story, though. A little bit. Chiefs now heading around this Baron buff area as well. Of course, all the teleports available for AV. They've got the Destiny at the same time. Void Rush there for Spooks, though, and they do have the teleport on Swiper.
Still the big concern remains that Swiffer exists on Summoner's Rift.
With almost a Rabbidan's Death Cap as well for his 4th item.
Yeah, and AV's answer to that is non-existent. In fact, the Chiefs are pulling what was a Game 2 AV.
Yeah.
And AV are not responding at all.
Spooks going down relatively low here. Yeah, Radier may need to do something like that as Shelby is going to throw through the Volatile Spiderling, so has been caught out. Relatively low health bars here as well as actually Paradise in trouble. Swiffer uses the ult, gets out of the way, and Ejim cops it to the face, but is with his team, he's going to be okay.
Yeah, Swiffer dodging that was more important than Ejim getting hit by it based off his positioning and the focus that AV would have put down onto him. Remembering they are still a pick composition, so whilst that Ash is throwing out arrows nonchalantly.
Oh my god, Shelby almost gets torn apart. That chains would have been a big deal, especially with Radier's follow-up.
And whilst they're throwing out arrows very nonchalantly, they do have low cooldowns on those picks. At least Cocoon to follow it up. And the Chiefs, they force once more.
Oh, Jake in trouble. The Distort doesn't let... Oh, what? That chain was through an exhaust. Didn't matter. Didn't have a whole bunch of health there as Rady actually turning onto Chelby here. He's taking some true shot barrage, but it's going to be repelled. Nice play from Chelby. Still has to get out of the way. This is going to be a Baron buff going to the Chiefs.
Yeah, the last-ditch attempt is going to be from nobody. Actually triple ulted in and then walked away. Pick up that Baron. Utilize the map control they're now going to have from this. Is great teamwork once again from the Chiefs. And decision-making from Swiffer, their mid laner, to assure themselves the assassination and as such control of the Baron area.
And Swiffer is honestly, he's the hero for Chiefs right now. Has been throughout this entire series, even in Game 2 where they lost. The man was still keeping them in it.
That guy's been hitting the gym.
He certainly has. And I mean, this is the guy that was on holidays for most of the first split, you know? Comes back, doesn't necessarily have the mechanics there, but he's got something to prove in this split. Definitely back to his form as one of the most feared mid laners in the OPL, if not the most.
There's 14 kills on Summoner's Rift for the red team. Swiffer's been involved in 11 of them. And the closest to that is 6 from Egypt.
Jesus.
Which means Swiffer's doing most of the work. And of course, a lot of the setup, a lot of the vision, still needs to be commented on, being done by the rest of the Chiefs team. They're still working very well as an actual 5-man unit. But simply because they've got this LeBlanc to work behind, they can do all of this.
Yeah, it's the amount of pressure that Swift is able to exert means that, yeah, these inner turrets are going to fall down. Of course, Baron buff helping out. A couple of siege minions there as well, but you can see this matchup towards the bottom side still going in favor of Paradise, despite Swiper being able to push things through. As yeah, Triple actually going to get stunned up. Spooks caught underneath the turret, has to deal with the aggro as the arrow's going to fly through as well. It is going to be Triple grabbing that kill. Radiant, lots of damage available to him, but AV have consolidated. Swiffer off to the side. Paradise trying to deal with the LeBlanc. Swiper here as well. His GA also up, but the Chiefs are split. Radiant, he's going to get caught out of position a bit late on the kill. Oh, kills him! My God, Radiant, he's a beast.
Radiant can kill.
True shot barrage comes through, just dashes on top of Chenny Boy. The shutdown comes in. He's going to be EGM locking one up as Swiper now looking for Chenny. Swiffer over the top. The repel's going to be there, but delaying the inevitable. Gets onto a ward, actually. Not too bad as Swiffer now dealing with Paradise. He's very big. EGM also now able to pick up a health bar for himself. Has a few of those items. Feeling a bit better, and man, I thought Radiant might have almost been able to solo that by himself, and it was really nice play to pick up the kill in the Twist of Fate.
Radiant didn't know his own damage output towards the end of that fight. He definitely could have gotten the kill onto Chenny. A bit of a mistake and a misplay, but the Chiefs still come out ahead. That mistake originally was Spooks just going way too deep. What eventuates from that is Swiffer probably dead.
Yep, right into a cocoon, heads back out, manages to get to his distortion, but he's going to fall down. Paradise grabs it, so Inhibitor is going to survive. Spooks trying to run away. EGM as well. He's not difficult to kill, but the Grasping Roots are going to fly through. Swiper actually is going to take all of the focus here as Triple has made it to the right position. Nice flash is going to get Swiper over the top, though. And now the support of the Chiefs might be the consolation prize. Triple is going to pick that one up. Shelby says, oh, come on, man. Now there's a Destiny that's just clean up as the Triple Janitor comes in. True Shot Barrage flying through. Swiper is still actually alive. Gold card going to be used immediately onto the Ezreal, but QSS is going to be there. And Swiper, the Guardian Angel, going to be popped. And I don't know how you're going to get out of this one, buddy, but that bubble is fantastic. Shelby wants to be able to pick it up, but Triple grabs it.
And Shelby picks up the Wolf instead, but AV just get themselves an abundance of kills. Swiffer's still dead. Swiper, 50-odd seconds, and EGM also in that chamber. Means that AV get a lot of money in their back pockets. They pick up a turret to boot. The Drake is the Elder that spawns in 3 seconds. They could look towards this as at least the denial from the Chiefs. They started her up.
Certainly have. Swiffer's making his way in. They're all pulling it out of the pit. There's AV, get into position. Pink ward goes over the side. Chiefs with complete vision of what's going on right now, but this is not going down fast.
Raider is so segregated from the team, though. He needs to get around to work it out.
Look at the damage this Dragon is doing to AV every attack. Now starting to reset. He's going to head back into the pit. AV, give up on the idea.
They had a window of time that AV didn't actually recognize because Raider had to regroup. They don't get the Elder. They don't give it to the Chiefs. There was no fight or throw near it. Once again, we re-establish ourselves and reset. Triple is still 5-2. You cannot write this mid laner of AV off ever.
Oh, no. And he's got his items as well. I mean, that's a potion sitting in his back pocket, but that's only one more item slot that he needs to fill. You can see Swiffer, the only difference really is the fact that he's got a needlessly large rod picked up there. 10 CS extra, 6 kills as well. The man is pretty dang huge, but this Twisted Fate's still a big deal.
The biggest thing to me is still the fact that Raider showed up in game number 3.
Yeah.
Paradise seems to be outperforming Swiper reasonably well. Triple and Swift are always going to be relevant. The junglers seem to be pretty much even at this stage in this series. And whilst Chenny has kills, first time in a while, Raider has been actually putting in a lot of work and setting his team up nicely.
Well, Shelby might be out of position here as Spook's looking for the knock-up. Gets it there as the repel comes in, but he's so low. The Ignite's actually going to kill him in the sky.
Well.
Teleport's coming in from the Chiefs. They're looking for another Chenny, but is going to fall down as Paradise now going to get knocked up. The chain's there, not going to find it, as it's a really nice bubble to stop Swiper from initiating anything, but that's 2 easy picks. And the Chiefs actually just want to take this open inhib.
Yeah, it should be the inhibitor. Very easily taken here by the Chiefs, just from raw number advantages. Swiper's tanky enough. Spooks is also tanky enough. They could be able to work towards that Elder Dragon immediately after.
Oh, God. Okay, Chain's not going to land there as Chrono Break is going to get Paradise back out to safety.
Paradise actually used his E onto Swiffer as he went back to the original distortion.
And went,
So
nope, 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 nope.
Ended up a bit behind his team. Maybe didn't want to be there. Chiefs should be able to lock this one down, though. We'll see if the Defiance from AV is evidenced at all. Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
There you
Chenny
go.
Boy. Up in a second, does have the arrow available as Destiny has been popped. Just going to head towards the bottom lane.
Oh, I was hoping he'd one-hit them.
It's like the Twisted Fate farm alarm.
Kind of.
Somewhat.
It always starts off as an I'm going to kill you, or respect where you're recalling. It's more of the shopping alarm, because what it does is it catches the enemy team shopping.
Can't do that. Well, Swiffer now 12-2-2. LeBlanc still phenomenal threat.
Shelby just absorbed that camp.
Shelby 0-5-6, not exactly having the game that he'd want this time around.
Yeah, getting caught out of position. I think a lot of it did actually come down to Spooks with his Tremor Sense and the LeBlanc being a huge threat because Shelby's most of his deaths were towards the middle lane. Whenever he was working the top side of the map, he was quite content, but never even looked at Paradise.
Yeah.
Paradise is still doing well. Raider level 18 as well. Like, everyone's hitting max power.
Chenny Boy as well had to adapt his build due to the fact that Swiffer was so huge. QSS and a more of Malmortius. No Infinity Edge has been done. Nothing to do.
I still think
Heaps
it's
and heaps
fine.
of damage. Oh, yeah.
It's Chenny Boy. He just needs to throw out the ultimate, facilitate. He's playing that Ashe after all. Baron's starting to get chunked out by a fair bit.
Yeah, the ultimate actually just for disengage here knocks 3 people away. As now Destiny will be able to get Triple in there. Shelby already up in the skies. Triple. Everyone just dives on top of him. He manages to flash his way out, but Shelby doesn't have anything to save himself here. Paradise is able to take down Radier on the backline as the Chiefs are chasing after the jungler. Not necessarily what they want to be doing as the Q is going to go wide there from Swiper. He runs pretty quickly as this Spider Lady, however, not going to be out of the way of the heroic charge as now Chenny Boy, Paradise, and Jake all here.
And on the wrong side of the map.
Oh, God.
The Chiefs actually have the middle track here. The
And there are super
inside to
creeps
the
on the base.
Exactly. They have the inside to at least the bottom lane inhibitor. Swiper's going to keep him busy, I think, is the plan here. In fact, no, you're not. He's going to kill him.
Yeah, looking for Chenny Boy here at the same time as Swiffer is over to the side. And I believe Swiper will be able to do it. So there it is. Paradise now. Last bastion of hope as the chains are going to go wide.
They can just work the bottom side of the map. They have a big stack
Split
of
push and
minions.
Zyra, man.
Yeah,
That's
like
what it's about.
Ejim's the only one with the idea that they could have just walked bottom lane and kept, like, Swiper could have kept them all busy. Baron seems to be something that they're prioritizing a little bit higher instead.
Teleport available from Triple. He wants to try and stop this one. Does actually have the Destiny back available now as well as Paradise is making his way in. A greedy decision by the Chiefs and they can't actually capitalize.
They're going for Zyra.
Yeah, Ejim going to get caught out of position. Instantly destroyed as Triple going to easily pick that one up. And look, that could be the pick that gets AV a Baron buff.
They absolutely want to at least look towards threats near the Baron buff. Spook's not getting a chance to recall.
He's pretty tanky though. Paradise not wanting to try and take him down as of course Radiant is waiting around here.
But the big thing being that Ejim, whilst dead, set up that bottom lane.
Shelby the one to answer that. Maybe.
I don't know if it was like the correct call to just outright go towards that bottom lane, but I do think that would have been a safer option.
I also feel like Chiefs could have gone towards the top lane, at least break open the base even further. Interesting.
Or with the amount of minions bottom lane.
However, Chiefs now going to start off this Baron one more time. No vision available here in this pit. The Chiefs do all disengage.
They're finding it tough to just pull the trigger on the Baron. You have to remember, we're respecting the amount of damage that comes out of AV. And triple. It's actually a very big deal. The way they even played that last team fight, the second triple appeared and stunned Raider.
Yeah.
Also did 80% of his health bar. All 4 members of the Chiefs just turned around and said, get triple.
Yeah, there were like 4 people that flashed on top of his face. And now Swift has 6 items. That's a last item, Luden's Echo there as well, so there's going to be a whole lot more maneuverable around this map. And also have a heck of a lot more burst damage. Just a very frightening look.
And honestly, we're 44 minutes into a game where we're just waiting for the Chiefs to pull the trigger.
Yeah.
The gold lead is still 6k between the two of them. Whereas Inhibitor's now up for AV, they probably just didn't even need to be there. Chiefs are just struggling, and they don't want to do it. It's so hard to execute.
Well, they don't want to throw.
But they keep cheesing the Baron. They're not just doing the Baron, they're trying to use 3 people to zone, 2 people to get it, every single time without fail.
Yeah, Swiper. He's going to be in there. We're going to have a brief pause, ladies and gentlemen, as you could see. So hi. But this game, Knife's Edge, feels like a Knife's Edge, honestly. But you're right. Chiefs have quite a phenomenal gold lead. They have a gigantic LeBlanc that can basically insta-kill everyone. And look, trigger is not being pulled. They're now in the Baron pit, down to about half health, but this could be the moment where Avant turn it around.
Potentially, of course, the power is still in the Chiefs' hands. They had the Elder Dragon, they had the Baron buff, whichever they actually wanted to go towards has been the Chiefs for an extended period of time, but every single opportunity they've looked towards it, AV have been able to thwart that threat and actually hold them off, kind of keep things going for them, as here we are.
Yeah, so Baron extraordinarily low, down to about 2,000 health. The wave is going to fly through as Spooks is able to lock that one down, but Ejim may get bursted out. It's a brilliant steadfast presence there from Swiper to keep him alive as the Stranglethorns knocks 3 members up. Jake and Chenny Boy, both of them extraordinarily low, but it's only 1 dead, and it's a Chiefs member as the Chiefs do peel away from it.
Yeah, and finally they secure themselves that Baron buff. Raider going to hold them off. I think they are still looking towards the Elder Dragon. Knowing that Ejim's dead for 30 seconds could give them a window of opportunity to strike, and now it's starting to become a necessity for AV to do it.
Well, last time they went for it on the side of AV, Elder Dragon did a lot of work to them. Paradise, though, still a very big deal. Shelby waiting in this brush. Their pick potential is
10 seconds till Ejim. If AV don't commit to it, then it'll never get done.
Yeah, you actually have to shoot the dragon, don't you, if you want to take it down. As Swiffer over the top wants to find Chenny Boy. Triple actually takes a lot of damage there.
His gold card just ran out. Chenny's actually just poked out.
Oh god, that
No
is so
chance.
much damage. Now the Elder Dragon could be for the Chiefs as Ejim. He's even on his way in. Baron buff available. Swiffer looking for the flanking play. Hawk shot flies through. Chenny's just going back to base though. Arrow is going to land. Spooks actually gets caught out of Swiffer over to the side. The Destiny comes in as Chenny. No! The Cocoon, the shutdown comes in as Chenny is going to sacrifice his life for it. Shelby running away. Ignite's burning down though. There's Paradise as well. He's got the GA. He's got a decent stun prepared.
They're not helping him.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's just out. All right.
And Chenny as well. Oh no. Okay, so the jungler in trouble. Cocoon's going to land, but the Stranglethorns are there.
Yeah, and they get the big pick here again. Chiefs should be able to reset, do this once more. Whilst Swiffer is dead, it shouldn't actually matter because Raider is alive. And we mentioned the major conflicting differences. Raider's just going ham by himself over there.
Yeah, and
so
Triple
you know
is
what?
just going to pick him up.
Raider's dead. Elder Dragon no longer doable. Chiefs just throw.
Well, at least Paradise couldn't get in there. It's a nice W out of Swiper as well, just to make sure that that can't happen. Triple's relatively low at the same time. There's only 3 members of both teams here.
I know that was like very casual, but that's not the first time Raider has actually done that. It's not his first rodeo in trying to 1v1 Twisted Fate for no reason with a Nami damage amplifier. And look.
Yeah. Yeah, look,
This has been a questionable series for AD carries. They're meant to be the least influential, which is why a lot of the focus has been going on to getting the mid laners.
Yep.
But if you're going to throw yourself at them, you're not going to have a great time on Summoner's Rift. So Raider is showing a lot of signs of weakness, honestly, in this series. But still, Swiffer 13-3. Very big deal. And we are, once again, AV in this third game for a title belt match in a battle of the mid laners.
Yep. That's exactly right. And Triple here, like, they've got a lot of tools on the side of AV. There's almost a 6-item Twisted Fate, which is exactly the same as how strong Swiffer is right now. Maybe in different ways, but still, this gold's starting to mean nothing as Jake gets exploded! Swiffer gets the pick he's looking for. Probably want a Chenny Boy, but he'll take it. They grab that one. Swiffer now waiting for his cooldowns. Very close to having that Mimic back up one more time. He just wants to rinse and repeat. Now with a man advantage.
Yep, LeBlanc finds a big, big man advantage, though, with that instant decimation. Didn't even use Ignite, just straight killed it. Very impressive stuff here from Swiffer.
Hits 3 spells, man.
Yeah, but he hit him.
Oh, really nice poke out of AV for the moment. Trying to keep Chiefs at bay. Spooks right in the front line. Actually going to get arrowed here as the Parallel Convergence comes down as well. Stranglethorns are in there as Shelby. He's going to make it up into the sky. Possibly Will die as he falls down. Will, as the buckler connects with his face. There's the ultimate out of Paradise, but now has no way to get out of this situation. The inhibitor's going to fall. Paradise now trying to create some distance as Radier just flashes into the wall. Swiffer picks up the kill in the end as Spooks sacrifices his life for no reason at all.
Why does this keep happening from the Chiefs? Triple, Chenny, and Jakey now alive might be able to hold this. It's not going to be easy to do, but against the 3v4 and with a lot of health missing on the side of the Chiefs, I don't think they can actually close. They're just looking for the easy turrets.
Yeah, well, this is a big one. The inhibitor turret is going to fall down. Triple gets poked out. Nice Mystic shots come out. Oh my god! Triple's dead. As Swiffer's able to lock that one down. Chenny now just going to get heroically charged underneath this turret. Smackdown has a lot of shields actually, but Swiper somehow staying alive for so long. Guardian Angel is going to pop as the Chiefs decide to take down every single inhibitor. And now the base is left in shambles. 6 seconds on Shelby. Jake the last man standing. The Nexus turrets are going to go. And the Chiefs will retain their OPL Legends title. But my God, did AV make them work for it. What a series of play out of these guys. And huge shout out to Paradise and Triple. Those guys played their hearts out this whole series.
Yeah, look, it took 50 minutes and 3 whole games to actually get across the line. But finally the Chiefs get there.
Jesus.
And it's, honestly, we called it a battle of the mid laners, and it just came down to Swiffer assassinating people time and again. But yeah, Triple had a great series. Paradise had a fantastic series. They really did push the Chiefs to the wire.
That's exactly right. And some questions to be asked of the Chiefs here as well, making some uncharacteristic mistakes. Maybe something getting into their heads at the moment. It's a little bit of an interesting situation. But for the last time, we're going to chuck it back to the desk.
Thanks so much, Atlas. What a marathon, but in the end, it is the Chiefs Esports Club that went out 2-1 versus Avantgarde and retained their OPL title. However, a hard-fought victory. Avantgarde with them at every step of the way. And once again, want to throw my eyes towards the top lane because Paradise, you know, we had questions. Is he a one-trick? Is he a carry-only player? Like, what does he look like in a competitive setting? And Tally, this guy, 3 games in a row, has really taken it to Swiper.
I'm actually really proud of what he was able to do. As a fellow Riven player, he's able to show people that we're not all like brainless.
Mechanics better than everything else right there? Is that what's covered out?
Yes.
It definitely is. But also, Triple, this is a young guy, like Avantgarde, they were confident about it. They said, we're waiting for him to turn 17. He's going to be one of the great mid laners in Oceania, and he goes up toe-to-toe with Swiffer this game for Oscar and looks pretty good.
And he's not just going toe-to-toe with Swiffer, who we've just kind of been like, you know, Swiffer's not the primary carrier of the Chiefs. It's always been Radio. Where Swiffer was the primary carrier of the Chiefs this series. Swiffer has never looked so good. Probably like the best form that I've ever seen Swiffer in. And Triple is taking or going step to step with him every single way. So it's not just like keeping up with baseline Swiffer, it's like keeping up with God tier Swiffer.
Yeah, and I want to have a look at this game in total because it is a 50-minute win. And I feel like Avant, they kind of like played a little bit too much within themselves towards the end. They were making the aggressive plays, but then just allowed Chiefs to dictate to them and fell into a trap of like what maybe a younger team will do when the Chiefs kind of control the map away from you.
Yeah, I think that AV got the advantage early, but I think nerves kicked in again. Well, they could have pulled the trigger a lot of times and they just didn't.
Yeah, in the end, it is going to be the Chiefs Esports Club that do come away with a 2-1 victory. As we take a look at the week's result on Monday night, it was Sin losing out against Tainted Minds 2-1 before Legacy Esports took down Abyss in what was also a 2-1. Hellions kicked off the night with a loss versus Direwolves, who looked back in form before the Chiefs just scraped through with their OPL Legend title intact. As we take a look at the standings, it is still going to be the Chiefs Esports Club at the top of your ladder, still undefeated with Legacy. Of course, those guys play in 2 weeks' time from now. Direwolves are 2-1 with Painted Minds, whilst Abyss and Avant have 1 win apiece. Sin and Hellions are still looking for their first victory. And of course, they will be doing it next week as we take a look at the schedule ahead. Next Monday night, 6 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. No Monday. It's going to be Tuesday. We have a shortened week. Legacy taking on Avant-Garde before Sin. Take on the Direwolves. They should be a very exciting match, especially coming up against Avant. I guess, what is the team thinking about this Avant-Garde lineup now? You reckon they look on and you're like, yeah, we can do what the Chiefs couldn't and put them away pretty quickly next week?
I think that we will have clearer games against Avant, but there's a lot more respect there now
All right.
this series.
I want to really look forward to those ones. As guys, I have to remind you one last time for tonight, I promise before we sign off, that OPL tickets are on sale right now. Details on your screen. August 13, Brisbane, Queensland is the location where it's going to be at. I'm sure Tally's hoping he can get back there one more time and take on what will be an old rival, most likely, and try and take it away from this time, Tally. You reckon you got him?
Yeah, we got it.
You got it this time? All right, cool. And Hoyt's movie tickets are on sale as well. You know, we got to make sure that we're getting it out to your local Hoyt cinemas with your mates, watching the OPL final on the big screen. However, guys, that is all the time we have for this week in the OPL. Join in next Tuesday. Remember, we're away on Monday. But on behalf of myself, the analyst desk, shoutcasters, and the entire production crew, thank you for tuning in, and we'll catch you then.